Hey, good morning, everybody. This is David Pendleton, and welcome to the finals for the Golf Clash Fall Major Tournament. This is going to be all the wind angles on the front nine in Rookie Division. I'm going to try to keep this video really short and to the point. It's more designed to show everybody a good path for you to pick up a lot of drops and to show you all the wind angles you're going to get on each shot so that you can be prepared to put your best foot forward. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to my channel. Please hit the thumbs up button, and let's hop into this. Okay, so hole number one, the game is giving us crosswind. You can play this with the Titan. You can play this with a Kingmaker. If you have lower level clubs, you might want to pull out a Berserker. But regardless, we've been playing this in the Rookie Division the same way each round, where we're just putting top spin and side spin, and we are just trying to clip the rough and roll out onto the fairway. This shot is played at 10% elevation. And this is your wind angle on shot number two. So shot number two, we're getting headwind mixed with crosswind. The good part for me here is I'm at absolute minimum distance of my thorn. So I'm just able to apply backspin and leave my ball guideline through the hole. We are pulling this shot at minus 10% elevation, so minus 10%. Of course, it goes without being said, the most important thing here when you're taking these shots to the pin and you're looking for the drops is to hit the ball perfect, which I don't do. Obviously, I hit a great ball to the right, which means I'm going to miss to the right. So had that been a perfect shot, we'd have been dead center. We'd have dropped the ball. It's an extremely frustrating way to start my tournament, but, you got to hit perfect. If you don't hit perfect, you can't expect to hit shots. But there's your wind angles for hole number one. Now we'll go into hole number two. Hole number two, remember, we're going to be playing this with our backbone. And we are playing it at 20% elevation. We are playing it at max distance of our club. Now, with this being a par 3, we'll go ahead and watch a shot here, but then we'll rewind it back, and we'll talk about what I would do differently if I were you to try to get this ball to drop into the hole. Now, this is a high wind for rookie. Okay, 4.2 with a navigator is almost as high as you're going to get. So at least we line up with the hole, right? We just miss to the left-hand side. So what that tells us is the spin adjustments is pretty good. We might take a little bit of backspin off, but, let's talk about this hole for a second. So as you can see here, I went with one full bar of right side spin, which is the max that you can do with the navigator, and I went with 2.5 back. I would change this to 2.25 backspin. That's what I would do first. All right, now you're going to see here my second square, or my second bounce is almost in the middle of that light green square. That's just above the fringe. With my final bounce, okay, the tip of my ball guideline is in the corner of that dark green square. So we know if we aim here and we pull at 20% elevation and we pull at max distance of our club, we know we're going to miss to the left-hand side. The wind is just going to push us too far. So what you could do ultimately is moving forward, you see this target right here, like where like my orange ring is in the rough. What I would do is I would pull this target back a little bit, so more towards the screen, more towards where that fairway moves more to the right. Okay, so it's like a little bit of a bigger gap in the fairway there. And then I would just move my target here more to the right-hand side. So I would make my second bounce. Okay, I would make my second bounce almost all the way over to the corner of the light green square. Now, the only reason that you don't want to do it from this position is because it may if you hit a great right ball, you might clip the rough. You want to go down a little bit further where there's more fairway to work with. I hope that makes sense. And that way, and then I would also reduce the spin a little bit, like I said, to about 2.25, since we're aiming further back from the hole. And I think that's going to get you close. This is a difficult hole to drop. We've dropped it a couple times in the tournament. It just unfortunately didn't get it in the finals. But you can see there, we missed by 1 green square. That's why I would move my target all the way over to the corner of that light green square. So that's hole number 2, and that's how you want to attack it. Hole number 3, the game is doing us no favors in the finals. So we are getting direct, basically, tail or headwind mixed with crosswind. So I pulled out a berserker on this account. This was my first attempt at the hole. And I'm playing way up here because we do need to get a lot of distance on the drive. Now, this drive is played at 10% elevation. This is going to be really gambling, okay, for you to execute this drive. Because you can see we're going with a lot of overpower and we're going with a lot of left curl. But if we want to be set up in a position to where we want to try to albatross this hole and try to win this tournament, you're going to have to push this drive. You could definitely play it safe. Okay, if you wanted to play it safe, then what you would want to do is you would want to line up here on that first fairway. So in this wind, if you want to play it safe, you'd want to use a kingmaker, okay? And you'd really want to aim like right here in this area. And you'd want to bounce it up here with using a lot of left side spin. So that would be the biggest thing that I would say. You know, but if you're going to do that, you need to make sure that you probably pack your big dog, because you're going to need a heck of a wood club to get to the green and 2 from there. But, you know, for me, in the finals, like, I'm all in. If I hit bad shots, I hit bad shots. At least I know that I tried to win. So this time I used a kingmaker just to see if it could be done with the kingmaker. And I was trying to use a sniper on the second shot. So the kingmaker, I wanted to reduce the wind. But you can see here, kingmaker has plenty of distance, and we're actually hit a really good drive. So there's 2 ways to drive hole number 3, and that leaves you with the second shot, okay? Now, this is the one that I played with the berserker. I was hoping to catch this funnel here on the back of the hole. But again, you know, we really need to use quite a bit of backspin in order to do that. The only bad part is we're getting headwind again, so both shots are headwind. I played this shot with no elevation, and at this point you see me trying to pull my rings and I'm pulling into overpower. That means I need to overpower my ball. Only thing here is I did not overpower it enough. Now that's okay, it's not a big deal. You know, we still make this putt for the eagle and save the hole, but we really got to hit the ball harder in order to catch that funnel on the back end there. This is the shot with the kingmaker. You know, I was hoping I would be able to drop this with a wind resistance 3 ball. I try to catch this funnel right here. This is a more difficult way to play this hole, to try to catch this funnel when you have this type of wind situation. We'd have loved like a tailwind or just a straight up crosswind. That would have been ideal, especially for this shot. But at least we hit a perfect ball. You know, we give ourselves the best case scenario to try to get it to drop. But we're going to come in just a little bit short. So there's a couple of different ways to play hole number 3. Definitely some challenging wind, but you know, no big deal. Now we go on to hole number 4. Hole number 4 is going to give everybody here the best opportunity to drop this, I think, as far as this par 3. So I played this one at 10% elevation, and I also played it at minimum club distance, okay? So if we just take a look at this hole real quick, kind of want to give everybody a setup of what I did here. So 10% elevation, power 1 ball, 2.2 rings. Sorry. 2.2 miles per hour is 1.9 rings. at minimum distance. Now you can see here I'm spinning through the hole. All right, so minimum distance at 10% elevation, as everybody can see there, I just pulled at 1.9 rings. Okay, so we come right in with perfect speed to the hole. So here's what I need you guys to do to drop this shot. First of all, let's take a look at the spin, okay? The spin is good. We're not going to mess around with the spin. So 3 top, and call that about what, 0.4 left? So 3 top, maybe a third or a fourth left spin. We're going to keep that there. Kind of take a look at the ball guideline here, see how it's going dead center of the cup, and it's going, you know, about 1 green square through the pin. Now, the only thing I want you to change is I want you to play this shot at no elevation, because, as you see, no elevation puts us at a 1.7 ring pull. If I pull this shot at only 1.7 rings instead of 1.9, so right there's my 1.9, we just pulled too far to the left. If we pull this 1.7, that's a dead center hole in one. So we're going to change this shot for the front 9 to 0% elevation at minimum distance of your sniper. Okay, hole number 5 is where we start picking it up in this tournament finally. We do get some tailwind here. Now, I am going to play this hole just like I'm playing it in pro with the funnel. You know, there was a lot of people, even though I've eagled this hole every single time in the qualifying and in the second round, there's a lot of people who didn't like my thorn shot going right at the hole. They'd rather use the funnel, so I'll show you the funnel. This shot is played at 10% elevation. Shot number 2 is also played at 10% elevation. Now, you see here I had to use backspin because I didn't want to drive the ball too far. In previous rounds, I was driving up closer to the sand line and just playing a backspin thorn shot right into the hole. And it was golden. But, you know, I go off what you all want to see because this is what I'm doing it for. And, you know, this is an easy shot right here. This is going to be your thorn or whatever, you know, short iron you use. But what we want to do is we want to use left spin combined with a little bit of top spin. The left spin always seems to be about 1.5 rings or 1.5 bars of left spin. The top spin for me here was 1 bar of top spin. As you can see, I'm just wiggling around. I'm trying to find this funnel. And what I'm trying to do is just wiggle around until my ball guideline stays kind of put. It just sticks there. But this is only a 0.7 ring pull for me. Okay, it'll be different for you unless you have the exact same club and you are in the exact same spot. But pretty much as long as you find that sticky spot, you know, you're going to come in dead center every single time, as you see there. And this is my other account. This is much higher wind. 4.4 is almost as high as it gets in rookie. But you can see, again, that 1.5 side spin. And you can see me just using the top spin to get my ball guideline through the pin. And I'm wiggling around here just to find that sticky spot. You know, perfect ball. And you're getting the scene to drop right into the hole. Okay, so that's hole number 5. Hole number 6, 20% elevation. You know, you can really use whatever ball you want here. This is not a situation to where you need to waste a Kingmaker. A Titan is plenty. I mean, heck, a Katana is plenty for this hole. We're playing this at 20% elevation. We are playing it at medium distance of our extra mile. We are not in max distance, so therefore we do not need to play at max distance. Because of the way the wind is pushing from left to right, it is easier to push your ring pull instead of pull your rings. Plenty of distance on this drive. Lands up nice on the fairway, which leaves us for shot number 2. Shot number 2, I go ahead and play this one at no elevation. You know, I was thinking with this wind that I would be able to play this shot, which is a shot that I played in pro and hit an albatross 2 for 2 on. But The trees were in the way. Had I tried to adjust my rings, I would have been clipping the tree branches, and it's just not worth the risk. So I go with a max right spin approach here with no elevation. And I just try to catch this little slope down to the hole. But the only problem is I didn't aim pin high enough, and I should have used some top spin. But regardless, this is really no risk, as you're going to clip this rough always, and then you're going to roll out onto the green, and then you're putting in for an eagle. All right, brings us to hole number 7. Hole number 7, 10% elevation. You have to love getting this kind of wind. It allows us to bring out our big topper, which is how we played it in a previous round. Here, what you really want to do is make sure that you have enough left side spin on the ball in order to get yourself past these trees. So here I went with 1.5 left and almost full top spin. I did as much top spin as I could. And to get myself out of this tree range, as you can see here, I'm going with a little bit of overpower, and I'm going with quite a bit of left curl. Now, I hit a great shot to the left. I was very lucky here not to hit the sand. Obviously, looking for a perfect ball gives you no danger. Even a great left worked out for me. But regardless, I rolled out here onto the fairway, which is exactly, where I want it to be. And that's going to leave me with a thorn shot to try to drop this eagle. Pretty nice, being very close to minimum distance of the club. Allows me to use backspin and just try to, find this spot on the green to where I don't get that glitch, as you were seeing. I did pull this one at 10% elevation. For me, I pulled it at absolute minimum of my club. And we're able to pound that one into the hole for another eagle. So now that brings us on to this hole. This is going to be hole number 8. And you are going to be able to hole in one this hole. I want you to use a navigator. I want you to use a backbone. I want you to play this at 0% elevation. I want you to play it at maximum distance numbers of your backbone. I want you to go 3.5 bars of backspin, 1 full bar of right side spin. Okay, so I missed this to the left-hand side, which is fine. I'm going to show you very easily how you're going to pick up this drop. Because this replay actually gives you a good line to show you here. All right, so we know the spin is good. Right here is what I want everybody to take note of. Second bounce is right here in the middle of that light green square with the very end of my ball guideline pointing into the hole. So second bounce, middle of the light green square, ball guideline going into the hole. All I want you to do is move the second bounce. I want you to move it right onto the right-hand side of that light green square, okay? So like right where the light green and the dark green square meet, kind of where they form that seam, that's where I want you to move it to. Because on my other account, I moved it there. I took the exact same shot, and I hit a very small, great right shot, and it rolled around the cup. So, I mean, had it been a perfect shot, it would have been dead center. It would have been good to go. I'm not saying, of course, that 100% of people who are watching this video are going to line up exactly like that and make the shot, because the game's not as easy as that, not even on rookie. But it is a really good opportunity to drop this shot, and a lot of people will not hole in one this hole, at least a lot of opponents. But if you watch that again, I really do feel like a lot of folks who are watching this will pick up the hole in one here, and that's going to be huge. Hole number 9. The game is doing us absolutely no favors again, okay? Just kind of a heads up, you're going to get back-to-back headwind on this hole. So as you can see with my quarterback here, I'm using a Kingmaker. This is simply just to reduce the wind. I'm pulling this at 10% elevation with 1 bar of top spin and 3 bars of left side spin. I'm using a little bit more than half of a ball of curl to the left. Thank goodness I hit a perfect ball. So that's sort of dangerous. I mean, we are really flirting with the rough line there, but this is actually where we need to be in order for this second shot to work. Because you can see here, 3.6 mile per hour headwind, gonna make this shot challenging. Full top spin. And, I'm adjusting in the overpower already. So I'm going to have to overpower this shot by quite a bit in order to get it to work out. Now, there is a solution for this, okay? Solution is if you have a power 5 ball to burn, especially a money ball, you could use like a wind 3 power 5 ball. That would be a huge advantage. Or you could use a berserker if you've got a berserker. Just that wind 1 will be a little difficult on the drive, so you just have to make sure that you don't accidentally roll into the rough, okay? Hey, anyways, everybody, thank you for watching. That's the front 9 in the finals. I'll let this load. I'll work on the back 9. Please subscribe. Please hit the thumbs up button. And if you like the content that I've provided this week for every single round, you can always show your appreciation with a donation. And I put my link to my PayPal in the comments. I hope you all have a great day. Thank you.